Hey y'all, I just wanted to come today and talk to you about something that I don't hear many van lifers in the community talk about. You know, there's the normal hot button topics, the how to find water, where to find water, where to find, safe places to sleep, how to find safe places to sleep, all of that. But one thing I don't hear many people talk about, and I think it's because it's kind of just like a normal, non-normal thing, is different ways to find food. Now, sometimes this kind of is going without being said, you just buy money, I'm sorry, not buy money, but you just buy food with money or whatever. So what happens, though, if you don't have funds to buy food, or something happens, you have a major car repair that just sucked up a whole bunch of money? If you're not careful, your budget may not, be ready for that. What do you do then? Today, I want to talk to you about what you did. Some different ways that I have found through my journey on van life, and just journey through, life in general. My family used to travel all the time, different ways you can, find food and do stuff. So, first off, I want you guys to comment down below if you guys have any other ways to find different ways of food. I'm going to rattle off a few that I know, but hey, you guys may know some more. So, first off, we're going to go with a little backstory. So, if you're not ready to move in full-time, sometimes finding food is a thing. If you weren't planning on moving into your van full-time, and you just had to, like I did, sometimes it's going to be a problem. Rewind a little bit, a couple months ago, a little while but further back, we bought our van, me and my boyfriend. That first stimulus check that they rolled out, we bought the van. And we have slowly since then been working on converting it. We were staying still in a house though. Well, it ended up being an emergency kind of, everything blew up, and I had to move into the van. Now we were still planning van, budgeting van, and building van. So it was a very last minute emergency move into the van. So we were more worried about everything else, but we already had food stamps. So that's my number one thing. If you are somewhere, I know some people van life in a certain area for a while, get on food stamps. If you can get on food stamps, that usually helps a lot. I know with me, food stamps have saved a lot of money and heartache with me. You can't always get on them, but if you can, it is a very good asset, because as long as you renew each month, or not each month, each year, and you keep up with your stuff, you can use those food stamps. Say you're in Georgia, you can go and use those food stamps in New York or Wyoming or whatever. You can use them however you want. So food stamps is a good one. Now the other good one, if you can do it, is food boxes. I know in the South where I am, 211 is who you call, but it's whoever it is, city information, public information, I guess, whoever you call, figure out, get in touch with, the churches and the people that help the homeless. They'll know where to find you a food. It's not hard to find. But go get a food box. Technically, if you really want to look in the eyes of everyone else, van life is a big hot topic. But really and truthfully, you're just living in your car. So technically, in the eyes of everyone else that isn't van life community, you're homeless. Own it, use it. It is a very good asset sometimes. It's a really bad asset sometimes. But when it comes to getting food, it's a good asset. But the other good thing about, using the homeless thing is food pantries. That's another one. Food boxes, food pantries. They are geared to help low-income, homeless, whoever. So if you're down on your luck, can't, get food, this is like a at worst case scenario. Best case scenario, you're good, you go to the store, you buy your food, whatever. But not all of us start out that way. So maybe in the beginning you use some of these tips and move past it. But share with, people around you if they need it. But food pantries, food boxes, those are really good ones. And usually it'll give you a lot of non-perishables. So if you're like me and you haven't worked out a refrigerator yet, or mini fridge, whatever way, and you're running off either no refrigeration or coolers, usually the good thing about the food pantries and food boxes, they will come with canned items, canned tuna, canned chicken, soups, canned items that you can really kind of use and stock up on. And then, if anything, you just go buy one pack of chicken to go with these green beans that they gave you, or whatever. You work it out. But, thirdly, blessing boxes. So, if you don't know what those are, I don't know if they're called blessing boxes everywhere. I don't know if everywhere has blessing boxes. But I know if you venture to Tennessee or Georgia, I know that they are all over the place. Look for them at schools. Churches usually there's always going to be at least a couple churches that are going to have these blessing boxes. Police stations sometimes have them. Parks usually, have them. So it's not exactly like a playground park, but if you go where they have the baseball fields, and sometimes they have a pavilion and a playground for the kids, walking track, kind of one of those mainly baseball fields, but they have a little side option. I found one there. This is along with the mini libraries that, people have out. Well, not people, but they have out. They go along with them. You do have to kind of see which one goes, because sometimes they have, for books, sometimes they have for toys, sometimes, but they're basically mini food pantries that everybody, community, donates to. I know the ones at the churches always usually have really good stuff. Churches and schools usually have good stuff. Sometimes police stations, if they're there, it's hit and miss. But churches and the ones at the churches and the schools are usually really good. They have all kinds of stuff. And the good thing about that is, if you're like me and believe in paying it forward, if you get back up on your feet, you can donate food, extra food, if you don't need it. So basically, it's a box, looks like a little house. I'll try and insert some pictures or put a link for a picture in the description, but it's basically a little box. It literally looks like, a kid just drew it, or sometimes it's just a box on, legs. But they have pasta, beans, carrots. I mean, just any kind of extra food that the community wants to put in the box, they put it in there. And it's a really good option if you're, down on your luck and you're nearby one. Say you're broke down, or you're just, down on your luck and you find one. I've ate full meals out of blessing boxes before. 3-course meal out of a blessing box. It works. It's not glamorous, it's not fabulous, but if you're hungry, it works. So the next option, free events. I know sometimes during the holidays it's much easier to get this because they're going to be doing your Christmas events, Thanksgiving events, Halloween, trunk or treats just stopped. But a lot of the time with those events come free food, free, snacks, whatever. Go, if they have, free food or whatever, go. I know that sometimes I'm guilty of it. I go to an event just for the food if need be. Go, do what you need to do. Sometimes it's kind of looked down upon, but you know what? You ate. If you're in that situation, you ate that day. And if that was the only way you could, guess what? You do it. But one of the good things about those free events with the free food, they sometimes, if you will find somebody who runs it, or can find the person that runs the event, especially if they're churches, usually they will, if you ask them, hey, what do you do with the food after, you're done with the event, if there's any extra? You don't have to tell them right off, hey, I need food, blah, blah, blah. Just ask a question. Worst they're going to say is, oh, we throw it away. Or, we donate it. But sometimes if you ask them, and if they say, oh, well, we throw it away, go, hey, I live in my van, we travel. I say I live and travel in my van, or whatever. Explain your situation. I was wondering if I could, if you would donate it, would be willing to donate it to me. And I've actually had places give me food like that. And I mean like a good amount of food. So those free events, and sometimes they're going to say, no, we can't do that. But it's an option. You're, trying. But lastly is handouts and donations. I know of someone that literally traveled all over the world and lived off of the donations of people giving him food, whatever. I know of another person that before I even knew about this van life, he literally, that's all he did. He was not homeless. He traveled with his dog and him, and he put all of his stuff in storage, and he literally traveled the whole entire United States backpacking, and lived off of donations of people. He would sit out with a little sign, and it literally said that he was, traveling with his dog, blah, 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 and lived off of the donations of people. Obviously, the dog got fed better than anybody, basically, because, people were more apt to give the dog stuff. But he lived off of handouts and donations. And sometimes you have to. If you're not planning for this life, or you're thrown into this life before you're ready to concretely do it and it's not your choice, sometimes you have to find other ways to survive. One of the biggest things is figuring it out. I have figured out, literally. But one of the biggest things is do what you need to. If you need to play like you're homeless to go get a food box, do it. Use the public's opinion to your advantage a little bit. So, But those are a few of the tips I have for you. Oh, the last one I wanted to say too, it's a little more dicey. You're not going to get the best quality, but if you're in a pinch and you really, really need food, one of the best, options I can say is look for like homeless. People that are helping the homeless are gonna, be good with feeding usually. Community kitchens, if they have, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, it's not the best. I have done it a few times, but it does get you something to eat if you're really that bad. But if any of these tips help you or you find value in my videos, smash that subscribe button, like and comment. If you have any other options of food, some people don't talk about this a little as much, and I want to definitely bring light to it because I'm going through it, and I guarantee I'm not the only one. So like, comment, and subscribe, and smash that bell button so when I post new videos. I'm working on getting a schedule made up. I got a whole bunch of videos planned out for the channel, and I think you guys will like them. So give me a comment, give me a like, give me a subscribe, and if you find value in it, then stay tuned because more are coming. And as always, y'all, just keep swimming and smile about something today. It's not going to be a horrible day all day. So you just keep swimming.